one more cool tribute that John did, if you don't mind. This one is a tribute model of a guitar that John built.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The first.
Yeah. Can you tell us?
A relic of a relic. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Everything. Great guy too, and you know I think he's a phenomenal player. I'm not too much into his girly songs and stuff, but when he started doing like the trio thing with the blues thing, I'm like, man, that guy's the real deal, man. He's really, really good. I made him this guitar. He actually talked to Mike Eldred and wanted to come down to the shop and take the tour of the shop, which he did one day. And he says, man, I'd really like to build a guitar. And Mike just says, okay, let's go. Put his glasses on and stuff. Took him out there, chose wood. John was involved in the beginning, you know. They walked him through all the machines and stuff like that. He actually got his hands on, you know, sanders and stuff like that. He was doing the sanding. Of course, you know, the media, everybody's there taking pictures of him and stuff. And, you know, he's just like having a good time sanding. Hey, man, check my hair. Is everything cool, you know, doing all that. And he was involved, you know, in the picking of his wood and sanding and stuff like that. Even right up to painting. He got to paint the guitar and everything, which wasn't all that, personally. It was a few paint runs and stuff. We had to fix that for him. But he's a rock star. He's not a guitar builder, you know. But it was really cool the way it finished out. And he was telling me that he wanted pretty much a black Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I'm like, well, I really can't do that, dude. I mean, that's, you know, like, again, it's a contract thing that we have with the family. We signed. We have to stick to that, and we did. But I says, I'll do something that's, you know, along the lines of that, but it's going to be its own thing. And it was. And I made that guitar for him. And he got it and flipped out, loved it. Apparently there was something wrong with it when he first got it, which I can't believe. You know, his tech had to go through it and restring it and all that stuff to his gauge strings and all that stuff, typical rock star thing. But he says he plugged it in and there was like nothing, no sound. And I'm like, wait a minute. That guitar I played on for hours, and I put a lot of time and love into that thing. That thing played beautiful when it left here. So don't tell me that I did something wrong, that it didn't work. I think it was his tech that might have like did something, because I know he put a dummy coil underneath the pickguard and all that stuff. Maybe something happened there, but John did a couple things to it, and bam, there it was, and it started playing again. And it turned out to be his #1 guitar. Played it all over the world. People loved it, you know, and it's just like, what is this guitar? And you know, he told everybody that, you know, we made it at the custom shop, and he gave me perks for it, which was great, and I appreciated that. You know, the big thing for me was when Michael Jackson had died, and he played what's the name of the song? Human
Nature.
Human Nature, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, that song kind of brought me to tears because I saw him playing it with so much soul and feel, and I'm looking at that. That's my guitar right there. He's playing, and there's the casket right below him, and I was just. It was really emotional for me to see that, and I get that way whenever, you know, somebody plays one of our guitars on stage and stuff like that. So a little more time goes by, and Mike comes in and says, like, dude, this guitar's blown up. People really want to see more of it. We're gonna do a run of it. I'm like, you're kidding me. So, but it's not like a real, you know, old guitar is all. It doesn't matter, dude. It's people want to see this guitar out there. So I got the guitar back and got to go through everything again and kind of refresh my mind what we did. And I made a prototype of it, and we made 83 pieces, sold them all. It was insane.
One day.
One day, pretty much a done deal. It's a great guitar, one of the best sounding Strats I think I've ever heard. You know, the pickups were pretty much, you know, people say, are those the Big Dipper pickups in this? No, not on this run. On his guitars, I think they do on the line, or like the Big Dipper style pickups, which were cool pickups, sound good. But this is one that they were modeled, you know, chosen to be kind of close to Stevie Ray Vaughan's tone. So that's, you know, they're custom hand-wound pickups that we used in that were chosen for John's guitar. And that's what I think a lot of the magic came into that. But real quick, a funny story that came to this, as John goes on his career and playing and stuff like that. One day he came in off a vacation, you know, all suntanned and, you know, ready to go back to work and everything. And we were going to build another guitar together, something for the Continuum album that came out. And he had a friend with him that he brought into the shop, and I didn't see it yet. You know, there was a couple photographers there. I'm like, oh God, what's he doing now? And it was early in the morning, man. I got in like 5:45 in the morning. I'm already working, getting sweaty and stuff. And he comes in, you know, looked like just got off a drunk binge, man. He was just like, hey, man, just got back from Cabo or whatever. And he had Jessica Simpson with him, and I was just like, you know, I was like, you know, trying to get all cleaned up and everything. She didn't have no makeup on or nothing, but oh man, one of the most beautiful girls I'd ever seen, even without makeup. And here we were like this, and I'm like, can I have a picture with you? You know, it was like, you know, I wasn't that starstruck thing, but you know, goddamn, it was Jessica Simpson, for God's sake, you know. So, you know, and she's the only chick that could get away with coming in with sandals on, because you have to have hard-toed shoes when you come into Fender, man. That's just the way it is. That's the rule.
Yeah.
And another thing, she came in with a freaking little dog, little toy poodle, or whatever it was, a little rat dog, I called it. But she was able to come in with it on a little leash, you know, and yeah, here's Muffy, or whatever the dog's name was, I forget. Daisy, that was the name, because she did Daisy Dukes on the Dukes of Hazzard or whatever. And it was cool because we were talking there, and as we're talking, I kept staring at her. It's like, dude, I don't care to talk to John Mayer. I got freaking Jessica Simpson in my area here, man. I was excited, you know. And I'm looking down, and I'm looking at John, yeah, and I'm looking back at her. And then I look down, and there's the freaking little dog sitting there at the edge of my, where I keep all my necks and the neck cradle thing right there, and I see the dog doing this. The dog pissed all over my neck thing, and that was just like a funny story. This is the kind of loose things that happen when we have artists that come to visit us and stuff like that. It was just a funny story I wanted to share with you guys. But these stories go on for years and years, and we have tons of them that go on.